Leviticus 22, Part 1. The Lord continued giving instructions to Moses for the priests to follow. The Lord said that Aaron and his descendants must be very careful with the sacred gifts that the Israelites has dedicated to God, so that they do not profane his holy name. And in all future generations, if any of Aaron's descendants approaches the sacred offerings while being in an unclean state, then that person must be cut off from God's presence. If any of the descendants has a skin disease or a bodily discharge that makes him ceremonially unclean, he must not eat from the sacred offerings until he has been pronounced clean again. Additionally, a descendant can also become unclean by either touching a corpse, having an emission of seminal fluid, touching a small animal that is unclean, or by touching another person who is ceremonially unclean. That descendant will be defiled by doing such things and will remain unclean until the evening. He must not eat from the sacred offerings until he is ceremonially clean. He must bathe himself in water, and at sunset, he will be ceremonially clean again, and may eat from the sacred offerings, for this is his food. A descendant of Aaron may not eat an animal that has died a natural death, or that has been torn apart by wild animals, for this would defile him. All these instructions must be followed very carefully by the priests, or they will be punished for their sin, and will die for violating God's instructions. No one outside a priest's family shall eat the sacred offerings, not even the guests and hired workers of his household. But if a priest buys a slave for himself, then this slave along with his children may eat from the sacred offerings. If a priest's daughter marries outside the priestly family, she can no longer eat the sacred offerings. But if she becomes a widow, or is divorced with no children to support her, she can eat her father's food again when she returns to her father's home and live with him. Apart from this, no outsider from the priestly family can eat the sacred offerings, and anyone who eats them without realizing it must pay the priest for the amount eaten, plus an additional 20%, and the priests must not let the Israelites defile the sacred offerings by allowing unauthorized people to eat them, for this would bring guilt upon them, and would require them to pay compensation. And that's